Jackson with you again, and today's rockin' selection is Hot Blooded by Foreigner. This song was co-written by Mick Jones, the key British element in the British-American band Foreigner, and Lou Gramm, the key American member of that band. They co-wrote a lot of the tunes, and actually our band backed up Lou Gramm a couple summers ago at our summer festival here where I live. And he did a great job. He's lost a little bit of his vocal presence that he had when he was a younger guy because he's gone through some issues. But certainly a great performer, a great writer, and this is a great song. Great guitar riff and sexually charged lyrics. This song has been used so many times in so many television shows and films, I don't even want to begin to list them. We'll start with The Simpsons and end it there. Here's Foreigner, Hot Blooded. All right, well, I have good news and bad news for you on today's lesson. Well, the good news is, despite the fact that this is a cool sounding song with lots of really neat guitar riffing in it, it's also one of the easier lessons that I'll put across as a rockin' selection. We're not going to take an awful lot of time with this one. It's going to be kind of fun and easy for you. The bad news is you're going to have to listen to me sing. And I'm not kidding about that. Our band performed live with Lou Gramm a couple summers ago we actually opened for Lou Gramm's new band. And of course they covered all the Foreigner songs. He can't sing like he used to. He's had some throat issues. But he sure could. And around the time Hot Blooded was recorded, he was really wailing. So you won't hear me hit any of those notes. You'll hear me make a feeble effort at falsetto or something like that. That's the bad news. So let's get on with the good news. The chording is also relatively easy for this. A lot of power chords and a lot of sus chords. Okay, there's a little playthrough of it for you, and you can see here that first of all you need that really gritty, overdriven sound. You don't want a clean sound on your guitar for this song. This is straight ahead rock and roll, and basically the song consists of power chords. This is a G5 power chord, and really I call it a G5 because again I'm just mainly emphasizing the pick down on strings 6 and 5 here. It's really a bar G chord. You could just do that, but I mean for the trouble it takes I just end up playing a bar G chord. And in this case it's really important because that's how I turn this bar G chord, G5 power chord, into a sus this way. And that's how I'm going to recommend you do it. It's a simple matter of flexing and bending the third and fourth fingers at the final joint here, the joint before your fingernail, and just flexing them down so that your pinky finger ends up covering the 5th fret of the 3rd string. And that's the note you have to cover to turn the G5 chord into a G5 sus. And when I play this, I pick down for the first part of the chord, I'm picking down on 6 and 5. When I play the sus section of the chord, I'm picking down on 4 and 3. See how that changes? 6 and 5, 4 and 3. Now, to play the C5 chord, this is a C5 power chord, and basically it's just a C bar chord in this position where my bar is here, and my 3rd finger covers at the 5th fret strings 4, 3, and 2. And this time my power picking is down on strings 5 and 4 because the root note is the C note on string 5. And this time to sus it, I still use my pinky, but I'm not bending anything this time. This time I'm adding and taking away my pinky from the 6th fret of the 2nd string. But the same is true. I pick down on 5 and 4 for the first part of the chord, and then basically on 3 and 2, or 4, 3, and 2 if you like. So the 3rd chord in the sequence is simply a matter of sliding that C5 formation up to a D5. So now the bar is on the 5th fret. My third finger is barring the 7th fret of the 4, 3, and 2 strings, and my pinky ends up going on and off the 8th fret of the 2nd string. Now the rhythm's a little bit different on that last chord. So here's the whole thing again, played nice and slowly for you, that whole sequence, and then we'll show you again the sequence with an emphasis on the right hand. And by the way, we have four measures of intro before we start into the chording and the cesses. Here we go. 3, 4. All right, let's move on to section 2 of the song. And this is a different set of power chords, but nonetheless power chords. And this is a little more difficult in the sense that what I'm going to ask you to do is play, rather than play this, rather than play that, what I'm hearing in this song is an open G string running through these first 2 power chords. And so to accomplish that, we're going to play a little bit different version of these power chords. And it's going to be like this. First finger bars at the 3rd fret, the 1st and 2nd strings. We're going to leave that 3rd string open. Our 3rd and 4th fingers are going to play at the 5th fret of the 5th and 4th strings. That's the chord I'm hearing, and that's accomplished by leaving that G there open. It adds that extra G note to the chord, and then I leave it open also when I slide down to the F5. And that still sounds good. Now the tricky part's going to be, if you want the bass note in here, you're going to have to do it with your thumb, which means the thumb wraps around and just catches that G note for this chord. Right there, like so, and it's a little bit tricky to come back and grab that, because you got to move up and catch the C5 is the 3rd chord in the sequence. So this is a modified G5 right here. Again, the trick is to catch that, and with practice, it gets much easier to go from this to moving those fingers and grabbing that. But it does take practice. Now the rhythm varies ever so slightly. The first time it's like this. So that was. Okay, second time through, he just goes into a different pattern and kind of stays there. It's more like this. It's more like dun 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 dun. The first time it was like this. That's kind of a triplet there. So what we'll do is we'll play through this, and it actually plays through it 8 times. We'll play through it. I don't think we have to do the left hand, right hand thing for this, so we'll just go one view 8 times through. Here we go. right, before we get into a playthrough and my wimpy singing in the playthrough, let's get to section 3 of the power chording. And this is the third and final piece of the package here, and it goes like this. Okay, and then back into the hot-blooded section of the song. And there's another one of those songs, by the way, that kind of begins with the chorus. You know, hot-blooded, check it and see, which is really the chorus of the song. And not that many songs start with the chorus, but this one does. So once we've completed this section, we go back to the chorus, and we've done everything that there is to do in this song. So this is... You know, I've watched Mick Jones play this, and you could go like this. And if you want to, if you like that idea of the slide, maybe he was lazy when I was watching him, but he was doing this. So all you do there is slide up from a C5, and then take the bar off with your pinky. I'm using my pinky to bar that, by the way. So that's really, in essence, what you're doing is going back to this without going back to it. Because by removing the pinky, you're going to the bar there, which is the same thing as this. So it's... And then we slide all the way up 3 frets. And then back down to the C. So I guess this must be an F. Okay, so... The second time, it only goes up 2 steps, or 2 frets, to the E. And back to this one again. And then it finishes up by doing this. And I just switch here to you could just use your first finger. I kind of go... third finger, first finger, but basically we're doing that same barring of the 3 strings, 4, 3, and 2, at 10, at 7, at 3, and then back into the chorus rhythm. So like this. Okay, so let's play through this third section of the song, and then we're ready for our for our playthrough. Here we go. All right, I think we're ready to put the whole thing together from the intro right through, and we'll attach some vocals to it. I'm so sorry. I mean, I did everything I could. I de-emphasized the vocal, if that's possible. It certainly was necessary for that. I can't sing that without singing some falsetto, but anyway, my job was to show you the guitar playing and where the singing is supposed to go. Some neat things in this song, though, some really cool power chords. The song emphasis was on power chords and on sus chords. How to play those sus chords easily, and then a little bit of moving around the neck, some different rhythms, some little tricks on how to play power chords without sliding things around too much. All kinds of goodies in this one. Nevertheless, a fairly easy power chord rocker from Foreigner. Mick Jones, Hot Blooded. We'll see you next time on Song Mentor.